Hi folks, welcome back to this week's review of next week's price action trading levels, 25th to the 29th of August. Kicking off with USDJPY, you can see the periods here where the price hit resistance. Seemed quite solid resistance there. The resistance level gave way to the price last week and bust straight up through it here. You can see there was no stopping it really. So if you're going to look for a trade on this, I would suggest looking for a pullback down to 103.27, just in here. Just change that line, make it a bit easier to see. There we go. 103.27 or 103.28. Look for a pullback down to here to go long, and look for, if it breaks under here, then look for a short back down to this level here, which could well turn into support now that it's actually been broken. You'd look for that to turn into a possible support level. So your areas to look at on USDJPY, 103.28 and 102.73. On EURUSD, ideally want to get short on this. You can see the previous support here, just this point here, and all this cluster here, which eventually broke. So when we get a pullback up to here, then that's time to go short with the correct bearish candlestick. That's at 133.58. That'll be your level to look for some sort of bearish candlestick, because of this, this support here has been broken. If we push down here even lower to 131.12, then this is going to touch this level here. So obviously you've got to be looking for a bullish candlestick up out of here, because there's a good chance there'll be a lot of buy orders sat here that will try and push this back up to 133.58. So your two spots to look for this week, 133.58 and 131.23. And GBPUSD here, a bit similar to the EURAUD. You can see here this previous supporting level, just here, look, support and support, has been broken and had a retest here and then pushed down further with the news last week. So look for trying to sell that at 167.38, some sort of bearish candlestick up here. Don't try and jump in just yet, and I'll show you why. And the markets have just opened. You have this level here, it's just open, it's just gap down here. We may get a bounce up out of here to bring this back up to this level. So don't look for going short just yet. If you're going to go short, then consider this as some sort of support, and only go short when this level is retested here. So your levels to look for right here are 165.67 and 167.38. So here's our GBPJPY. Had some right messy old price action on this last week. Look at this, these gaps here all over the place. It's just gapped up here when the market has just opened. It's all over the place, this one. So I would be very careful about these levels. The level you're looking at here, we're actually pretty close to it. 172.71. So if we get a nice bearish candlestick in here, then that can be traded down to 171.31 here. But be careful of this. Also pay this some attention as well. Just put a bit of a trend line on here. You could look for trading underneath that trend line here, but if we get a break over that trend line, then look for this pair to keep going north. So look out for either a bearish candlestick under 172.71 or a break not only of the 172.71 but also this trend line to go long. This is what you've got to be careful of on this one. Keep an eye on this. There are a couple of levels here that could be okay. If we drop down hard, then the lower level is 171.31 to get long from with the correct bullish candlestick. On EURJPY, pretty much still stuck in this range here. Top level 137.80, bottom level 136.59. Look for a break over here If we get a break over here, then look for a break followed by a retest before taking this long. So basically this sort of thing. Now let me just change the color of that. So it breaks, comes back to show that it's turned into support. Its resistance has turned into support, and then it takes off up there like that. So look out for something like that if you're going to get long. Wait for the retest. If we get a drop down from here, then look for a long position from 136.59 out of this level here. The range is pretty tight here at the moment, so as I said last week, look for, you know, breaks of these ranges, or possibly a buy up from here. But just keep an eye on EURJPY for now. On AUDUSD, another one here stuck in the range. It's typical summer trading type of setup here. You can see that we have this supporting level just here. Yeah, support, 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 and it found support again, but with this huge, great bullish pin bar, bullish hammer here. So really we couldn't take that one last week because of the sheer size of the candle. You need to be looking for something similar to this one here, and then possibly also followed by a bullish engulfing like that before you can take this. But this candle was so big, you threw your risk reward totally off, because you got your top level here, which is your possible resistance level, where it did actually stop it. So that's not something that could have been a viable trade. But as last week, your levels are 0.9330 and down here 0.9229. On AUDJPY, we highlighted this area last week, 96093, as a possible resistance level. It didn't resist, it just bust straight through it. So now the 96093, or the 96 level, could now be considered support. If you can see here, it had resistance, resistance, resistance 4 times, or 3 times, sorry. Actually, yeah, it was 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Major resistance here. It's broken it eventually, so if it falls back to the 96 level, check to see if that's going to turn into support. Look for a bullish candlestick to take you up high, back up to where we are now. So look for it to pull back first to the 96 level and then push on further from there. On USDCAD, you can see here, just this level here, previous resistance. It's still messing about at this level here, 1.0947. It's still messing about here, 1.09427. But this level here has got to really come up. This resistance level really got to come up to there. And what I'm going to look for is either a break over here and then a retest to carry on long with this trend, or a nice bearish candlestick under here to trade this back down to 1.0830, which is, as you can see, previous support. So it's at a decent level now to watch, but you've got to be a bit careful as to what happens here. Don't just go long just because it pokes its head up above this level. Wait for it to come back and retest this to show that it's actually turned in to a supporting level from a resistance. Similarly, if you get the bearish candlestick under here, then look to trade this back down to here, 1.0830. Just taking a quick scan down the news list here for next week, just to see if there's anything important going on. It doesn't seem to be that much happening, to be honest. There's a few bits and pieces here. Euro news on Monday at 10 o'clock, and again on Thursday, German CPI. But there's not that much going on. You've got the usual US dollar unemployment claims on Thursday. But it is pretty quiet here news-wise. Compared to last week, of course, when we had the MPC meeting notes from the Bank of England, where 2 people out of the voting committee actually voted for a change in the interest rates. They want to put it up. That's what caused all the movement on GBP pairs last week. The MPC has voted 009, which is basically unanimous to not change the interest rate of the GBP since I think 2011. So last week when two people said they wanted to put the interest rates up, that made the charts move. So beware in the coming week if there's any news release that is related to that isn't mentioned in this list here. Remember, this is scheduled news. It doesn't stop some of these people from talking, but I am probably going to look for an interest rate hike on the GBP before Christmas on the way that they voted, and the fact that the UK economy seems to be getting better and better. They have to do something to try and keep inflation under control. Okay, so that's it for this week's price action levels. Remember, we're still in August, and because most of the major traders are on vacation, it makes the charts at times seem very, very quiet, and then when you get tiniest little bit of news come in, it makes them go a little bit wild. But most of the time during this week, the charts historically have moved quite sideways, so trade carefully and safely this week. If you like what we do here, please subscribe, click the like button, or send me a comment, and we'll see you next week.